Self-confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you build every single day through the choices you make when no one is watching. It grows quietly, often unnoticed, in the small moments that seem insignificant at first. It is shaped when you decide to get back up after being ignored, laughed at, or underestimated. It is strengthened when you choose effort over excuses, courage over comfort, and progress over perfection. Confidence is not a gift handed to a lucky few. It is a skill developed by those willing to face discomfort repeatedly. Every time you try again after failing, you send a message to your mind that quitting is not an option. Over time, those messages become your identity. When no one is watching, your character is being shaped. When no one is applauding, your discipline is being tested. These private moments define your confidence more than public success ever could. Waking up early to work on your goals, practicing when you feel tired, learning when you feel stuck, these moments don't bring instant rewards, but they build something far greater: self-respect. And self-respect is the root of real confidence. Self-confidence is not about always believing you will succeed. It is about believing you will survive even if you fail. Fear loses its power when you realize that failure does not erase your worth. The most confident people are not fearless. They are familiar with fear. They have felt it, faced it, and learned that it does not define them. Each encounter with fear that doesn't break you makes you stronger. Doubt will visit you often. It will question your abilities, your decisions, and your dreams. It will remind you of past mistakes and magnify your weaknesses. But doubt only has power if you listen without responding. Confidence grows when you acknowledge doubt and move forward anyway. Action is the language confidence understands. The moment you take action, doubt begins to fade. You don't build confidence by waiting for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment never arrives. You build it by starting before you feel ready. Readiness is a myth created by fear to keep you comfortable and stuck. Growth begins the moment you step outside what feels safe. Each uncomfortable step expands your limits, and with expanded limits comes stronger belief in yourself. Comparison is one of the fastest ways to destroy confidence. When you measure your journey against someone else's, you ignore your own progress. Everyone starts from a different place, carries different struggles, and moves at a different pace. Confidence is built by focusing on your path, your improvement, and your lessons. The only comparison that matters is who you were yesterday versus who you are today. Confidence also comes from acceptance, accepting that you are human, that you will make mistakes, and that you don't need to be perfect to be worthy. Perfectionism pretends to protect you, but it actually keeps you frozen. And when you allow yourself to be imperfect, you give yourself permission to grow. Growth builds confidence far more effectively than flawless performance. Your self-talk plays a powerful role in shaping confidence. The words you repeat in your mind become the beliefs you live by. If you constantly criticize yourself, your confidence will shrink. If you challenge negative thoughts and replace them with realistic encouragement, confidence begins to rise. Speak to yourself the way you would speak to someone you believe in. Confidence is also built through preparation. When you invest time in learning, practicing, and improving your skills, belief in yourself naturally follows. Preparation reduces fear because it replaces uncertainty with competence. The more prepared you are, the less you rely on luck, and the more you trust yourself. Another key to building confidence is learning to take responsibility for your life. Blaming circumstances, people, or past experiences may feel comforting, but it keeps you powerless. Confidence grows when you accept that while you may not control everything that happens to you, you control how you respond. Ownership creates strength, and strength fuels confidence. Rejection and criticism are unavoidable parts of growth. Instead of seeing them as proof of failure, view them as evidence that you are trying. Every confident person has been rejected more times than most people even attempt. What separates them is not success, but persistence. Confidence is built by staying in the game long enough to learn, adapt, and improve. Your environment matters. Surrounding yourself with people who challenge, support, and believe in growth will strengthen your confidence. At the same time, you must learn to stand alone when necessary. True confidence does not depend on constant approval. It comes from internal alignment, knowing who you are, what you value, and why you move forward. Confidence is not loud. It does not need to prove itself. It shows up as calm determination, quiet resilience, and steady effort. It is visible in how you handle pressure, how you treat yourself after failure, and how you continue despite uncertainty. Every day offers an opportunity to build self-confidence. Not through grand gestures, but through small, intentional actions. Show up, try again, learn, improve. Trust the process. Over time, those choices compound into unshakable belief. Most people wait to feel confident before they act. But confidence is created after action, not before it. This misunderstanding keeps countless dreams trapped in hesitation. People tell themselves they will start when they feel ready, speak when they feel confident, and try when fear disappears. But fear rarely disappears on its own. It fades only when challenged. Confidence is not the starting point of action. It is the result of action taken despite uncertainty. Think about the first time you tried anything new. You didn't feel confident. You felt awkward, unsure, maybe even embarrassed. Whether it was learning to walk, speaking in front of others, or trying a new skill, confidence came later. It arrived after repetition, mistakes, and persistence. Yet, as adults, we forget this truth and expect confidence to magically appear before we begin. This expectation becomes a barrier that stops growth. Action teaches the mind something powerful. That fear is survivable. When you take a step forward with shaky hands and a racing heart, you are not proving that you are fearless. You are proving that fear does not control you. Each time you act despite fear, your brain gathers evidence that you are capable. That evidence becomes confidence. Confidence is built through momentum. The first step is often the hardest because it breaks the pattern of avoidance. Once you move, even slightly, resistance weakens. Small actions create small wins, and small wins build belief. Over time, belief transforms into confidence that feels natural rather than forced. Waiting for confidence keeps you stuck in preparation mode. You read, plan, think, and imagine, but you never fully begin. Preparation has value, but without action, it becomes another form of fear. Action is what turns potential into progress. Even imperfect action moves you closer to confidence than perfect planning ever will. Mistakes play a crucial role in this process. When you act, you will fail at times. You will say the wrong thing, make poor decisions, and fall short of expectations. But failure is not a sign that you lack confidence. It is a sign that you are building it. Each mistake teaches you what works and what doesn't. More importantly, it teaches you that mistakes are not the end. Surviving failure builds resilience, and resilience strengthens confidence. Confidence grows when you stop trying to avoid embarrassment. Many people fear looking foolish more than they fear staying unfulfilled. But embarrassment is temporary, while regret lasts much longer. The confident person is not someone who never looks foolish, but someone who understands that looking foolish is a small price to pay for growth. Action also clarifies who you are. Thinking keeps you trapped in possibilities. Doing reveals reality. When you act, you discover strengths you didn't know you had and weaknesses you can improve. This self-awareness creates grounded confidence, not false optimism, but trust built on experience. Fear often disguises itself as logic. It tells you it's not the right time, that you need more skills, more resources, more approval. While growth does require learning, fear exaggerates the need for readiness. The truth is that clarity comes from action. You don't figure everything out first and then move. You move and figure things out along the way. Confidence is also shaped by how you respond after action. When things go well, acknowledge your effort. When things go poorly, reflect instead of retreating. Beating yourself up weakens confidence, but honest reflection strengthens it. Growth-focused thinking turns every experience into progress. Taking action builds trust in yourself. Each time you act, you prove that you are someone who follows through. Self-trust is the foundation of confidence. Without it, praise feels empty and success feels fragile. With it, even setbacks feel manageable. Another important truth is that confidence is situational. You may feel confident in one area and uncertain in another. This does not mean you're inconsistent. It means you are human. Confidence grows in the areas where you take action. Avoidance keeps confidence weak, while exposure strengthens it. You don't need to take massive leaps to build confidence. Small, consistent actions are often more effective. Speaking up once, trying one new thing, or showing up one more day creates progress. Confidence is cumulative. It grows quietly through consistency rather than dramatic moments. The confident version of you is not a future version who suddenly feels brave. It is the present version who chooses to act anyway. Action transforms fear into fuel. It turns uncertainty into experience and doubt into learning. The more you act, the less you wait. The less you wait, the more you grow. Self-confidence is not something you go out and find one day. It is something you become. It is built through every choice you make when fear tries to stop you and you move forward anyway. You are not lacking confidence. You are simply in the process of building it. And that process begins the moment you decide that your life deserves your courage. Let me speak to you directly for a moment. You are capable of more than you have allowed yourself to believe. Not because you are perfect, not because the path will be easy, but because you are resilient. Think about everything you have already survived. Think about the challenges that once felt impossible, but are now part of your past. That strength did not disappear. It lives in you, waiting to be trusted. And you don't need to silence fear to succeed. Fear will always be there when something matters. The goal is not to eliminate it, but to stop obeying it. Confidence grows the moment you say, I'm scared, but I'm going anyway. That decision changes everything. That decision is power. Waiting for approval. Stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. You were not created to live quietly inside your doubts. You were created to grow, to stretch, to rise even when your voice shakes and your hands tremble. Confidence is choosing to show up as you are while working toward who you want to be. When you fall, and you will, don't speak to yourself with cruelty. Speak with strength. Say, I learned. Say, I'm not done. Say, I'm not done. Say, this is part of the process. The most confident people are not those who never fail, but those who refuse to let failure define them. Let today be the day you stop underestimating yourself. Let today be the day you stop replaying old mistakes and start creating new results. Your past does not disqualify you. Your fear does not control you. Your doubts do not decide your future. You do. Every time you take action despite fear, you send a message to yourself. I can handle this. Every time you keep going, despite uncertainty, you strengthen your belief. Confidence is not built in one dramatic moment. It is built through repetition, one brave choice at a time. If you ever feel small, remember this. Mountains are climbed step by step, not in a single leap. Progress is still progress, even when it's slow. Growth is still growth, even when it's uncomfortable. Don't rush your journey. Respect it. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to dream bigger. You are allowed to believe in yourself even when others don't understand your vision. Confidence means trusting your inner voice louder than the noise around you. And when doubt comes back, because it will, don't see it as failure. See it as a reminder that you are stepping into something new. Confidence does not mean doubt disappears. It means doubt no longer stops you. Look at yourself and recognize the courage it takes to keep trying, to keep learning, to keep standing when it would be easier to quit. That courage is confidence in motion. Speak, not because you know everything, but because your voice matters. Try, not because success is guaranteed, but because growth is worth it. This is how self-confidence is built. Not someday, not when everything feels perfect, but now, through action, through resilience, belief in your own ability to rise again and again. Carry this with you. You are becoming stronger every time you choose yourself. And the moment you truly believe that, you stop waiting, you stop hiding, and you start living.
Motivation will bring you out of your vomit, but discipline will keep you from going back to your vomit. Motivation will push you going, but discipline will keep you on track. Whenever courage embarks on a journey of the mind, fear is an obstacle it must overcome. What makes a great mind is not the absence of fear, but the victory of courage. Until you confront your rejections for a stepping stone, you cannot become the chief cornerstone. And until you become the chief cornerstone, you cannot make a milestone. Your determination is stronger than the devil. Your decree is more powerful than your doubts. And your might is taller than the height of your challenge. The grave is the only wall Satan can push a man to, and he won't bounce back. Challenges are never designed to stop you. It is either you break through its walls or you bounce back more experience. What makes you a strong human is not when no one can control you, but when you are in control of your mind. If resilience must overcome its defeat, you must not negotiate with fear to overcome your challenge. If your ambition must not part ways with you, you must not let desperation have a better part of you. If you can mold your might out of your mistake, your setback can become a setup for success. If you can defeat your pain, you will discover power. If you can resist your panic, you will find purpose. If you can trust your push, you will arrive at your potential. When you focus on achievement, the road may seem endless to your steps, but when you focus on improvement, the road becomes a step at a time. Cultivate courage, push purpose, drive destiny. Greatness is in your genes.